is Tarik Talk. Your host, Tarik Mendes, takes you on a journey with guests from all around the world. Broadcasting around the world. Around the world. This is Tarik Talk.
All right, guys, today I'm here with Yin Ming at booth 75. How are you today?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Awesome. Thank you so much for being part of the podcast. Can you tell us a little bit about you, please?
I'm currently based in Brooklyn. I am a painter, and I also make soap on the side in a soap studio. But yes, I've been painting ping pong for the past, I think, 4 years now. And my work is still probably going to be engaging with the sport in some way and like describing the sport in some way.
Oh, that's so cool. And what's your creative process like?
I don't really have a fixed process. For now, I'm mostly just drawing a lot of inspiration and taking ideas from all the conversations that I have with people, because I'm using ping pong, the sport, as a metaphor for all the conversations that I have. And so I'm painting based off of the different struggles and anxieties that come with trying to be understood and trying to maintain a dialogue with someone. Yeah. And so that has been mostly what I work from. And then when I'm in front of the paintings and working on them, I'm kind of doing like I'm making really impulsive decisions to create the compositions that I have. But that's kind of what keeps me in a more playful and free making process.
Oh, wow. And how did you come up with the ping pong theme? That's so fascinating.
That really came out of nowhere, where in a conversation with a friend, I started using ping ponging as a verb to talk about going back and forth between languages, or going back and forth between like vernacular and stuff when you're talking to people, like code switching. Because when you're in like a public space or you're in a private space, you talk very differently. And so I think that's a really interesting experience that everyone has. And so trying to illustrate it in a way that is able to be received by anyone was really fun. And so I thought sports was the way to go.
Yeah, that's so cool. And are like you draw the ideas and like, or is it like organic? You just like get a canvas and start painting. You kind of have an idea before you start.
I've tried drawing beforehand before too, but I feel like the initial outpouring of an image feels better the first time. And so I try to keep it all on the canvas.
Oh, wow. So it's very organic for you.
Yeah, kind of.
Wow, that's so cool. That's so cool.
Thank
and
you.
Are you an artist, like, do you prefer to paint at night, at daytime, or you're like more spontaneous?
I think it's whenever
inspiration hits?
Usually during the day, because I like having like natural lighting when I'm looking at my paintings. But as you can see, it's not very realistic paintings either, so it's not like I rely on the natural light either. So if at night, if I want to paint, I just turn on a bunch of lights and I'll just start painting as well.
Oh, that's so cool. And do you have like any studio rituals? Like when you first get to the studio, do you have to have like coffee, read the news, or you just get right to it?
This is not a ritual. This is actually a bad habit. But it usually takes me about like 20 to 30 minutes just to figure out what playlist or what podcast I'm going to listen to while I'm going to paint. Yeah. And so that's kind of become a ritual where I'm like setting up the space, but I'm also just on my phone looking for music to listen to. But I do have like a after painting ritual where I go about cleaning my brushes and cleaning my space in a very particular way before I stop.
So your brain can like slow down and get ready for the next day?
Yeah, kind of. Or like I'm getting ready to, or I'm just like understanding what I got done that day while I'm cleaning up, and then making little notes on what I should start working on the next time I start painting too.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. So you don't keep any, you write down any ideas, or is like just you remember everything and it's very organic for you?
I have like little Post-it notes that have little notes on them.
Oh, that's so cool.
Just in case I didn't get to something and I wanted to try it out the next day. Yeah. I'll have like a little note for myself. But nothing like sketches or visual. Yeah. Just because, I don't know, I don't want to like confine myself to a specific image either when I started painting.
I get what you mean,
Yeah.
And you mentioned you do soap and other things. Can you tell me a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, during the pandemic, I was just trying to find other ways to keep myself alive. And so I was in a retail space working before the pandemic happened, and one of the makers in the retail space was a soap maker in Bushwick.
Oh, nice.
And so I just like DM'd her on Instagram and asked her if she needed an assistant, and I've been with her ever since, just making small batches of soap, candles, bath
wow.
salts, bath bombs, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how do you find the energy? You have like your work is so detailed and intricate. Plus, you have so much other stuff. You're so organized. It seems.
Well, no, I think it's interesting because it's so different too.
Yeah.
And so I can get like a lot of self-fulfillment out of making something that's very functional and sustainable and all of that. But then I can go home and work on something very personal and very like specific to me. And so I feel like I have like a good balance of using my hands for myself and for other people.
Oh, I love that.
And that's like really fulfilling.
That's so cool. And can you share your Instagram, please?
It's YINMING _.
Awesome. And do you have other projects later this year or early next year?
I am expecting to have, I think, a publication feature coming up, but I can't say what it is yet.
Okay, yes, of course.
But that's all I have for this year. I'm hoping that I can do a few exhibitions next year. I'm trying to work on more work, make more work and stuff like that.
Okay, well, please make sure to follow her so we can check her process, everyday stuff. And congratulations on the great booth. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. And I'll definitely follow you. Your work is amazing. Thank you so much again. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you for listening to Tarik Talk. Follow Tarik Talk on all social media channels and check out the video interviews online.